Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1971 Olivetti Lettera 32 vintage portable typewriter made in Spain. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top are the margins. I'm going to set this left margin on 0. To move them, you just push them down. And I'm going to set this right one around 75. That's about the length of a page. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bail that sits on top, holds the page down. It's got 2 rollers and a scale. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit the slide space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch down. It skips 2, 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Beautiful. This is the best, arguably the best typewriter of all time. Compared with the Hermes 3K, that's what I would compare it to. And if you watch my videos, you'll hear me compare them all the time, but I compare the Hermes 3000 is the Bentley of typewriters, and the Olivetti Lettera 32 is the Maserati. So just pick whatever one that, would you rather have a Bentley or Maserati? One costs more than the other, obviously, and that's just the same with the typewriters. But arguably, a lot of people will choose this over that for some reason. I do like the 3K a little bit better, but this is much smaller and compact and sexier. To pull the page out easier, there's a switch on the right side. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier. Load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to flip this down for now. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the right side works great. Tab button, this red button is the tab button, and to set them is on the left. So let's see if we have anything. Do have one set? We've got them on 10 space intervals, so we're going to go ahead and clear these. So we're going to go to the first tab and press down on this lever on the left. That clears it. I'm just going to go ahead and clear all of them. So now we don't have any, but as you can see, it just kind of goes all the way to the end and can cause damage. Not damage, but just wear and tear on your typewriter. So I like to set one right in the middle on all my typewriters, so that way when you hit that tab button, it stops at that spot. And you can set as many tabs as you want by just pushing up on the lever. So up to set, down to clear, and there's an S and a C labeled there for you so you know which way. And if you have Lettera 22, it's the opposite. Backspace on the top right of the keyboard works great. By the way, this whole thing is smooth, about as smooth as it gets, and just feels so good. Like when you type on this, it will ruin all of your old typewriters. If you're a collector and you get one of these, if you're a writer, all your old typewriters, you're just going to put them away and just use this all the time. It's going to ruin all that feel that you had for those ones. But it is what it is. It's best in the game. So on the right side of the keyboard, you have the carriage lock. When you push it down, it locks the carriage in the middle, so when you have it in a case, it doesn't go banging around, causing damage to your escapement. This one doesn't have a case, so these ones will come with like a leather zip case. We have to do a couple things on the keyboard. Color selector switch. If you move it down, there's a red dot there. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, so the vibrator just goes up a little bit higher. When you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. So I'm going to put that up to print black, which is the top portion of the ribbon. Since we have a solid black ribbon, you can double use that. Once you use all the top ink, you can go down to the bottom with red and double use it. So this is a blank key. A lot of people might mistake that as the 1 key, but this doesn't have a 1 key. This is the carriage release. Or not the carriage, but the margin release. So you get to the end of the margin, it blocks you from typing. You hit that button, it'll release the margin so you can get to the end. You can type all the way to the end. The hood pops off from the front like this. It's got 2 hooks in the back. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch that direction behind the spool, is the ribbon guide, and you just move it to the opposite direction. So on the right side, if you move it to the right, it'll pull to the left, counterclockwise. If you move it, and they have one on both sides, but I'm just using the right side for now. If you move it to the left, it'll pull to the right. That works good. This will pop back in. If you hook this first on the bottom, it hooks into the back here, and then pop it down like that. Carriage release on each side. So this will randomly lock on you every now and then if you accidentally tap that. So if this was mine, and I don't never see them disabled, but if this was mine and I was a writer, I would take that thing off. Like I said, it's about as smooth as you can get. So smooth. Marvelous typewriter, marvelous engineering, a wonder. It's almost like a wonder. I feel like this should have been made in 2025. Like, this is how futuristic this thing is. If you push in the button on the left knob, it'll disable the spacing, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. Same concept when you move the line space indicator all the way back to 0. It'll disable the spacing, but you got to be careful because it won't line space when you have it on 0. You just got to put it on the 1, 2, or 3 line space. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.